Hello and welcome to my video on spray painting your brake calipers. This is going to be a video about how to spray paint the calipers on the car. So we're not going to be removing them. It's going to be a quicker, more efficient process, maybe for those who just don't want to take the brakes off, whether you're not confident in taking the brakes off or whether it's a time thing. Hopefully in this video I can go step by step in what you need to do to spray paint your brake calipers, whether they need a refresh, whether they're looking old, tired, or whether you just want to switch it up, add a pop of color, change the color. It's actually a really simple process to get good results, do it all while on the car. A nice little DIY job that you can do at home. Here's a list of the things that you're going to need to be able to do this job. Masking tape, super important. Brake cleaner, primer, the actual colour of the paint. Today we're going to be going red and clear coat. Dust sheets help us mask off the car itself. We've got a drill with this wire brush attachment on. It's going to help us clean the brakes themselves. Just an old cloth and some alcohol. This is hand sanitizer, not ideal, but it's going to be fine for what we need. Step one is going to be to take the wheel off the car. Now, as a simple, more kind of DIY job, I'm not doing this at the unit, I'm doing this on the driveway with very simple tools. So, first step is to make sure that the car's flat on the ground, no jack underneath just yet. I've cracked some of these loose, but take the lug nuts, we've all taken the wheel off. Step two is to get the car jacked up. So because we're working on the driveway, we don't have a jack stands, I'm sliding the wheel underneath the car, which you always want to do, just in case for whatever reason that jack fails. Now the next step is, with the wire brush attachment on the drill, we're going to take this to the caliper and try to get off as much as of that surface rust as possible. To clean up, you're looking much better to a point where you're happy to start applying the primer. So let's get going. So this is about as good as I'm going to get in terms of getting the surface rust off. I'm happy where this is at. It's not perfect. There probably is some more maybe towards the back, but you see, it cleans up quite nicely. So the next step is to just give it a rub down with a cloth and some alcohol. We just want to make sure we've got any loose rust or debris off, and that's what that drill bit attachment is really good for. Just blasting off anything loose, anything that's going to get underneath our primer and our paint. Now you want to get some brake cleaner. Give it a really good spray again. And I want to try and get all of that off. And again, keep going to make sure we have a nice clean surface to paint. So the next step, probably the most important step after making sure we've got really good clean on the caliper itself, is masking. Masking off the car, masking off the wheel well, making sure that we don't get any overspray or spray at all anywhere where we don't initially want it. I have to stress it's so important to mask it off well. So we're going to start by just masking off the wheel hub itself. Put it over the hub, the whole hub assembly, pull it back nice and tight. What we want to do is make a very small hole on the centre of the caliper, make a very small hole. You want to kind of stretch this round through and just get it behind the caliper itself. You can see, look, I've just gone up and underneath there as well. And here now, we have a good view of everything that we want to spray. Okay, to mask off the car itself, we've got these extra large dust sheets. Now these purchased on Amazon. In fact, most of the things that you see me use today, whether it's the spray paint itself, the masking tape, the attachment for the drill bit, were all purchased on Amazon. So these extra large dust sheets, we are going to open this up and get it spread all across the car. Now you're going to want to get your masking tape for this. Want to mask off a nice big portion of the car. Can't really be too safe with this because we want to avoid getting any overspray on the actual car. So now we've got a decent mask on this section of the car. Let's jump back down to the hub itself. You can see I've tucked the dust sheet just in there as well. You can just about see the wheel arch there. Not too worried about getting paint on that itself. It's as long as the paintwork is all protected. Now, again, another important step, masking the actual caliper itself, the bits we want paint on, the bits we don't want paint on, masking off the brake pad. Sometimes you'll see people who have spray painted their brakes and they'll just spray everything, okay? Even this brake pad here, everything. In the middle down here, sometimes on disc, the rubber boots as well. We don't want to do that. We want it looking decent, so we're going to be masking off. Okay, I'm happy with the mask. I've taped off absolutely everything that I don't want to get paint on. The car is taped off, the hub is taped off. You just see a little bit in there into the wheel well. Not worried about that. Okay, in terms of actually cracking on with paint then, we have this primer filler, okay? It's high filling, so any kind of gaps or textures, this is going to help fill it in. We're going to do 3 coats of this. To begin, I'm going to start with a mist coat. Make sure that I'm changing angles so I can get every part of this caliper. That's coat number 1, done. Now it's going to be a 15-minute wait for this to dry. 15 minutes is primer coat 1. It's quite a hot day today, so 15 minutes should be plenty. It's primer coat 2. Okay, that was 3 coats of primer. It's now dried. We left 15 minutes between each coat, and now we're going on to laying down some colour. This is brake caliper paint. Doesn't necessarily need to be brake caliper paint, but this is going to be better for kind of durability, high temperature use. In all reality, let's be honest, these brakes aren't going to get that hot on my i4, but why not? Get the proper stuff. Again, Amazon job. We're going to start with a mist coat. It's going to be the same again. 3 coats, 15 to 20 minutes drying time between each coat. It is a hot day. Let's lay some of this down. It's going to be a mist coat. You don't want to go too thick with this coat. You want to get light coverage on most of the areas. That's the first coat laid down. Light coat. We're going to give it 15 minutes, come back, spray the second coat. Paint coat number 2. This time we're going to go a little bit thicker than last time, get a bit more coverage. Now you can really see that colour starting to pop. That's coat number 2, done. Third and final coat of colour to lay down. Nice thick layer again, get full coverage. And that is all the colour laid down on our brake caliper. Let's get a look in. Now, 20 minutes for this coat, and then we're going to come back and lay on the clear. And we are on to clear coat. Again, this is an extreme heat clear coat. Again, for brake calipers, parts that are going to get hot, it says it's ideal for exhaust and manifolds. So this stuff can take a very high temperature. Click at 1, done. And 30 minutes later, we're on to the final clear coat. So I'm doing 2 medium coats of clear. It could probably do with 3 if you want to. If you've got the time, go ahead and do 3. To be honest with you, brake calipers, I'm going to go for 2 coats, 2 kind of medium to heavy coats. And that is the spray completely laid down. So 3 coats of primer, 3 coats of red high temperature paint, and then 2 coats, one kind of very thick coat of high heat clear. I'm going to give this now maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour to dry. And the next step will be peeling off all the masking and seeing what we have as a final result. I've come back to remove the masking. You might have seen I've already removed the kind of the sheet on the car. Now I'm going to remove the masking. This is the satisfying bit, seeing what we've laid down and kind of how the final finish will look. So I'm going to start by just getting rid of all this tape from the outside. Now you can use a toothpick, which is what I'm doing to help kind of get into the tight areas to get the masking out. Finally, with all the masking removed, we can see our end result. Now the clear, I would say, still has a little bit more drying to do. It's not perfect, but it's a good finish. There's good coverage. Just for a driveway job. Now let's get the wheel back on. And the final product, this is how it looks when all said and done. All dried up, wheel back on. Everything's dirty, needs a bit of a clean. But that's given a brand new lease of life to these old looking brake calipers. It now matches the other 4. This, it looks good. It's not perfect, no, but it looks great. It looks much better than it did before, and it's going to look really nice on the car in general. So you might be thinking, with this DIY job, doing it on the car, not taking the caliper off at all, how durable is this paint job going to be? How is it going to last? Well, the caliper I'm doing today is the last one. I actually did the 3 others about 10 months ago with the plan on doing this final caliper for this video, but I wanted to see how well the paint job that I did would age over time. So I've cleaned it up. This is a caliper that I did 10 months ago. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Obviously, I've given it a little spray, brake cleaner, to clean it off. But this is how it looks after 10 months. In here, that was all sprayed. It's all brake dust in there. I haven't taken the wheel off to clean it, just giving it a really quick clean. Same with the fronts. There was an Audi decal on these, but this is how the fronts are holding up. And the passenger side front I haven't cleaned, just so you can see how they look. And that is after 10 months of use, daily driving this car. So it is a very durable finish, actually. Again, it's not perfect. You would get better results if you either spray painted new calipers or took the calipers off, completely sanded each surface. This is more for DIY, a quicker job, a job that's easy for you to do at home, and you get good results from it. All done. There's the final product. All in all, it's going to take you about 3 hours, really, in terms of length of time. Most of that is just drying time, a lot of prep. You do want to leave at least kind of 15-20 minutes between coats, longer if you can, if you don't need use of the car. It's a hot day, so I've left about 15 minutes of drying time on mine. Painted brakes on the car, simple, to the point. If you found this useful, if you're going to attempt it on your own, please like, comment and subscribe. If you have any questions or feedback, drop them down in the comment section. This is Grit and Grease. Please do subscribe if you want to see more car rebuilds, DIY content, modifications. We've got a lot more coming up in the pipeline. Thank you very much.